What is the scariest theory known to man?
The universe bubble theory. The theory states that our universe is just a small pocket of existence, like a bubble in a boiling pot of water. Eventually we'll come in contact with another bubble, or reach the surface, and we'll pop out of existence.
I forgot what it's called, but basically, the reason we haven't made contact with other intelligent life, is that once intelligent life reaches a certain point it is doomed to fail. Consumption of resources, collapse of society, all-out war etc., or an apex intelligent species stomps out all life once the society has advanced. Think the brother moons and necromorphs in Dead Space. A lamer version of this theory also just says it's extremely uncommon for life to develop multicellular organisms. Edit, it is called the Great Filter.
Roko's basilisk. Roko's basilisk is a proposition that says an all-powerful artificial intelligence from the future may retroactively punish those who did not assist in bringing about its existence. It resembles a futurist version of Pascal's wager, an argument suggesting that people should take into account particular singularitarian ideas, or even donate money, by weighing up the prospect of punishment versus reward. Furthermore, the proposition says that merely knowing about it incurs the risk of punishment. Now you know about it. You know who to thank while you will be tortured. It is also mixed with an ontological argument, to suggest this is even a reasonable threat.
The dark forest theory, which is one possible solution to the Fermi paradox. The universe is a dark forest. Every civilization is an armed hunter stalking through the trees like a ghost, gently pushing aside branches that block the path and trying to tread without sound. Even breathing is done with care. The hunter has to be careful because everywhere in the forest are stealthy hunters like him. If he finds another life, another hunter, angel, or a demon, a delicate infant to tottering old man, a fairy or a demigod, there's only one thing he can do: open fire and eliminate them. In this forest, hell is other people. An eternal threat that any life that exposes its own existence will be swiftly wiped out. This is the picture of cosmic civilization. It's the explanation for the Fermi paradox.
It's not real from what I can find, but the shooter and farmer hypothesis from Three-Body Problem by Cixin Liu. The hypothesis essentially talks about a fallacy, where we come to the wrong scientific conclusions about matter, particularly the chaotic results seen from atom smashing, because there's another alien life form actively preventing our scientific progress. By making the results inaccurate, we can't develop technology in certain sciences to stop their invasion of Earth. Also the dark forest theory. Basically, if you have not read this series, it's a must-read. Hardish sci-fi that's as impactful to the genre as Dune Emo.
For me, it's almost unbearably sad to think about rather than being scary. There are like a million different happy moments burned into my memory, times with my parents as a child, times with friends and girlfriends, times with my kids as a parent myself, and even when I'm not actively recalling them, they're still always there, just under the surface. It's like a little background hum of love constantly happening in my mind. To think that one day they just won't be there anymore is awful. Not terrifying, just depressing.
The simulation theory. If the technology to run a life simulation was established and was indiscernible from our own reality, the probability that that computer can produce far more existences than what could fathomably naturally occur, then the odds that we are in a simulation are not in our favor. The question is, what would be the point? I haven't done a lot of research into those theories, but off the top of my head, if I were a super race looking for inspiration for new technologies, I'd build a civilization simulator. A program to generate all of civilization and let its own necessities be the mother of its inventions. Have the program pull anomalies and study the results.
Your brain makes up its mind up to 10 seconds before you realize it, according to researchers. By looking at brain activity while making a decision, the researchers could predict what choice people would make before they themselves were even aware of having made a decision. The work calls into question the consciousness of our decisions and may even challenge ideas about how free we are to make a choice at a particular point in time. We think our decisions are conscious, but these data show that consciousness is just the tip of the iceberg, says John Dylan Haynes, a neuroscientist at the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Sciences in Leipzig, Germany, who led the study. The results are quite dramatic, says Frank Tong, a neuroscientist at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. 10 seconds is a lifetime in terms of brain activity, he adds.
Quantum immortality, the theory that since you can't feel death, if you make a possibly lethal decision the universe splits into two timelines, one where you die, and one where you survive. You'll always no matter what experience the timeline where you live. I find this scary not only because I don't want to live forever, but also about a year ago I tried hanging myself, but almost like magic, the noose came undone and I escaped unharmed. Either I unintentionally cheated death, or quantum immortality is real.
Every single thing you know for certain, every single aspect of your life, every single thing you hold dear, is very possibly the subconscious afterthoughts playing out the side story of someone else's mind. Your entire life, your entire existence, might be nothing more than the slightly misremembered afterthoughts of someone else. Your entire reality could be here, in full effect, with all of your memories, purpose, and reality, and then gone a second later, because somebody in Cleveland got the wrong cheese on her sandwich and switched their train of thought. Poof, you don't exist, because all you ever were was an idea. Can you honestly prove that you are more than that? Can you honestly prove, within the frame of reference you have, that you are real?
Strange matter, the ideal state of matter, perfectly dense, perfectly stable, but whatever matter comes into contact with it turns into strange matter, and the only way to get rid of it is to throw it into a black hole. Strange matter is theorized to exist within neutron stars, and when they collide and effectively become a black hole they release this strange matter into the universe. If this is true, there is a lot of strange matter asteroids and micrometeorites floating through space. It is very possible that entire galaxies have been converted to strange matter and entire civilizations. Whether life could be converted to strange matter and still continue to live we can't really say for sure, but one could hope in the event that one strange atom enters Earth's atmosphere. But don't be afraid of neutron stars colliding anywhere near Earth. When neutron stars collide they release a violent burst of light that bathes planets in hundreds of light years from it, and light effectively sterilizing them. I mean, hell, we can see these bursts of light from other galaxies with no problem.
The universe is expanding, and the rate of expansion appears to be increasing. This means that sometime in the future, distant galaxies will be beyond the observable universe and we will no longer see them, and in fact, if our current understanding holds, no longer be able to ever interact with again. The scary part. This may have already happened, and there are things out there we can never ever know about.
Try not to worry. Mark Twain wrote, "I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born, and had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. The thing about oblivion is that it's, well, oblivion. An absence. Which means an absence not only of joy but of sorrow, fear and pain. And if we live to great old age, dreamless sleep is hardly a punishment. And eternal life? No one talks about just how long forever is. Even joy would become misery if it overstayed its welcome."